so this plot is going to brassicas. We've got a couple days of rain coming. I'm gonna rototill this plot to get to a pretty fine texture. Probably just go once over it, but go slow. See how that texture's looking up. Might have to hit it twice. Then we'll spread the seed down, and then we'll come over and try to just lightly rototill that in to get that seeding depth about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch as suggested on the label. So rototill, get it fine, spread the seed, cover it, and this food plot will be done. Hopefully it rains and we get a great stand. We're gonna be planting Merit Seed Co., Deer Max, Brassica Blends, got some kale, brassicas, and turnips in it. It's a plant July to October. It's July 2nd, so we're really early. 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch depth, 8 to 10 pounds per acre. This is a 10-pound bag, so we can plant an acre. It's about 1/3 of an acre food plot, but we'll probably plant a little heavy just because the method that we plant with the rototiller is not the most effective, so we'll probably plant 5 pounds, 1/2 an acre's worth on this 1/3 acre food plot. So we're gonna get tilling and we'll keep you posted on how this looks. Got our first pass complete. I had to go over the dense thatch areas from last year's food plot, all that matted down grass that was killed off earlier this year. Had to go over those areas twice, but we got a pretty good seed bed now. So let's get our seed put in our earthway spreader. Let's get it spread, and then we'll get it covered. just got our first pass. Did not use very much seed, enough seed. So we'll open it up a little bit more, which is fine. And then I'm gonna go perpendicular to the direction I just went. After I do one lap around the outside, then I'll just kind of go back and forth perpendicular and see where we're at. Alright, so I lied. I did not go perpendicular to the first pass because this plot's long and skinny and I didn't want to waste that much time. We did open it up a little bit. Still have a decent amount of seed. I'm going to open it up just a smidge more. The faster you crank the handle, obviously the faster this spins, so the farther it throws the seed. So I'm going to open it up a little bit more, do another pass, and walk even faster, and then spin the handle even harder to throw it out a little further. I'd rather go over a plot 2 to 3 times when I'm spreading really small seed like this to make sure I get good coverage. All right, let's go again. All right, we're pretty much out of seed, so let's hop back on the tractor, cover it up, and hope for rain. So on my second pass, when I'm going to cover this up, one thing I forgot to tell you guys is I'm just gonna skim it. So I'm not gonna put the tiller all the way down like I did on the first pass. So I'll look behind me, see where it starts moving some dirt, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, and then I'll go. And I'll also go much quicker than I did the first time. All right, the Deer Max Brassica and Turnip Mix plot by Merit Seeds is in the ground July 2nd. Hopefully we get some rain, this thing comes up and looks beautiful, and we shoot a big buck off of it this fall. We are at our clover plot today. We sprayed this with clethodim 1 to 2 weeks ago. You can see the grass starting to die. And today we're gonna hit it with some butyric acid, some 2,4-DB, and to take care of some of these broadleafs in our clover plot. Let's get going. So this is a first year clover plot. Now that I've walked it spraying this, the clethodim didn't kill all of the grass everywhere, so we're probably going to have to come back in a week or two, give it another shot of clethodim, but we'll see how this 2,4-D interacts. Don't want to combine both chemistries to stress out the newly seeded clover plot because this is a first year plot. So hopefully we can get some of these weeds under control, and then in 3 or 4 weeks come through with a mower and mow this off and get this thing greened up looking nice. Stay tuned. So we are spraying today Now we are in a soybean plot. So we're going to hit this plot with our Polaris sprayer, which is going to be glyphosate and glufosinate. My soybean plots this year have been very challenging. With all the wet weather we had and the dry weather we had, it's been very hard to establish a good seeded plot. This is one of the better ones. It's pretty weedy out there. We're going to get those cleaned up, and then we can hopefully see how many soybeans are out there. The ones that I've been able to get established, the deer have just been hammering. And so they're either not coming up, or they do come up and they look great, and the deer have been just hitting them really, really, really hard. So we're going to get out here with some glyphosate and Roundup, get these weeds cleaned up that's tolerant for both chemistries, and get this looking a little nicer. July 2nd, we just finished that up. These weeds will start to die here in a few days, and it'll start to look a lot better. We also top dressed a little bit of seed in some of these thinner areas, try to fill some of that in. So stay tuned and we'll keep you updated on the food plots. So because the deer have been hitting these so hard and the weather we've had, I've planted this plot the first time. You can see these larger soybeans. And then I came through and top seeded just on the soil, just laid them on top of the surface, broadcast them, some new soybeans, and let it rain in. And you can see some of those here, like right here next to one of the first planted soybeans. So now we got a pretty good stand of soybeans out here. This one, the deer have actually not been hitting too hard, but some of them they definitely have been. All right, I am at one of my favorite food plots, what we call the river food plot at the river farm. Surprisingly, there's a river right over there. And this plot I planted a while ago, and it came up and looked spectacular. I planted it into soybeans, and the deer and the turkeys just annihilated it. And they are continually just annihilating it. So today it's getting a little weedy in some spots. We're going to top dress some soybeans, just broadcast it on top of the soil. We're calling for a few days of rain here. You're going to want to do it right before some rain. So we're going to broadcast those right on top of the soil. This will be the third time that we've done that. And then we're going to spray it with some Liberty and glyphosate, a pint and a half of both of those products. So we're going to get busy. I like to use this Earthway spreader. I have spread acres and acres with this thing. It just goes over your shoulder. It's a little heavy and uncomfortable at first, but it spreads really, really well, and it's really nice to walk through the crop and spread with this thing versus some other type of spreaders. We've got our rate set because we've been spreading soybeans with this thing for about 2 months now. So you can see here, these would be the first beans that I planted. These would be the second. And here's the third, the seeds. And then you can see just all these stems, right? All this is stems where they've been eating them off. And that's what I've been battling all year out here. All right, we just got our soybean seed top dressed, and now Juno and I are going to hop in the Polaris and we're going to get this sprayed real fast. This plot is now sprayed. The majority of these beans will pop back up and they won't be affected by the driving over them. But any later than this, we'll probably just hand spray with a wand sprayer. So we are going to go check a few deer cameras, and then we're actually going to go spread some seed in our new food plot, some purple top tune-ups. So we'll take you there. All right, everybody, we are in the new river food plot. It is about half an acre. Obviously is a cornfield. It's going to be a corn food plot. And then we took out of production because it's kind of in a little nook, little corner back in here, and it was really difficult to farm. Not the most productive ground in the world, so we turned it into a food plot. As you've seen, I took about a 10-foot border and planted switchgrass. Didn't know if that was going to take, so then came through with some Merit Seed Co. Border blend, annual blend with like Egyptian wheat, perennial ryegrass, among some others in this 10-foot border, and we'll show you a closer look here of that. But the other thing I wanted to experiment with, because why not, is I sprayed this corn plot with atrazine, which is a residual herbicide. And there's some areas in it that aren't really super thick and dense. So I'm going to spread some purple top turnip out here in this plot today. And to be honest with you, I do not know if it's going to come up because of that atrazine. In the areas with corn, I'm hoping to have a purple top turnip green layer underneath this standing corn if the atrazine doesn't kill the purple top turnip. So let's get this spread with the turnips, and then I'll show you our little 10-foot grass lane, and that'll be it for deer chores today, besides checking a few more cameras. All right, we've got purple top turnip from Merit Seed Co. Here, and the rate is 8 pounds per acre. This is a 6-pound bag, so it'll plant 3/4 of an acre. This is about a half an acre, like I said, so we're hoping to have a little bit of leftover seed. So we're going to put, well, 75% of this seed into our Earthway seed spreader, and we're going to get this planted. Our Earthway seed spreader, we have set our little dial to where it just covers that little semicircle slot, and it is just barely cracked open in here. I'll take a picture on my phone and put it in the video, but it's just barely cracked open. We may have to spread it twice, but I'd rather go over this twice than run out of seed halfway through the plot. This is a really, really fine seed, really small seed. All right, so the corn in the middle, I'm not sure if you could see me, was about head high, and it was all shaded out. So I decided to not spread that. I adjusted the rate, and I went around the outside again with the corn is a lot smaller with the purple top turnips. So hopefully we get a good stand on the edge. I'm going to show you kind of my border that I got going on. Like I said, it's got first year switchgrass in it. I didn't know if that was going to take and really wanted to border. So came back a couple weeks later and put Egyptian wheat, perennial ryegrass, things like that. The Merit Seed screening blend out. And so we'll go check that out, and then hopefully in a couple weeks we have some seedling purple top turnips to show you guys, and hopefully we kill a big buck out here this fall. So this is what we kind of got going on out here. Looks like a little bit of corn came through. I'm not sure if this is switch, Egyptian wheat, perennial ryegrass. I'm not the best grass identifier out there. As you can see though, we've got about a 10-foot path lined up with the woods going straight towards this little gravel pit. It curves right here at the end just because the way we're going to farm is on a curve there around that corner off. And then everything on this side is food plot, that side is the field, and hopefully this is, you know, 6-7 foot tall here this fall to keep all the visibility from the road. Nobody can see back in here, and the deer and everything just feel secure. It'll also give me some cover as I access into this location. We will keep you posted on how this screen works and how everything looks here. But I have not been out here for a couple weeks, and 2 weeks ago there was no seedlings and I was thinking I wasted some money. But it looks pretty good today. So let's keep you posted here and see how it progresses. We are back at our brassica plot today. It's July 25th, so it's been about 3 weeks since we planted this plot. It is looking excellent, but it is getting some grass in it, so we're going to spray it with clethodim here today and clean that grass up. It's been a little dry for the last couple weeks, so I'm actually glad that I got this brassica plot planted early, because if I wouldn't have, it would have been probably August before we got it in the ground. We'll see how it turns out, but I did get it planted a little early, but so far I'm very happy with it. Let's get to spraying. Okay, plot is sprayed. Hopefully we get some rain here. We got a chance on Sunday. Today's Thursday. Plot's getting a little bit dry, but I am very excited about the way this plot looks. Okay, so we moved over to our clover plot, which is, this side is looking a lot better. This side, down on the bottom, not so much. What we call white dirt up on the hill where the soil's a little better. It's a little bit better. So getting some grass back in this. We sprayed it with clethodim already. We sprayed it with butirac already, but get some grass back in it. So we're gonna hit it again with clethodim today. Give that about an hour or two and then probably mow it off about 4 to 6 inches to get rid of some of those weeds that the butirac didn't take out. So let's get to spraying. I'd also like to mention our guest star today, Cody dog. So she's been following us around and on the videos. My dog, here, I'll just show you real fast. My dog doesn't get off the Polaris because if she gets off the Polaris and you leave, she has to run. Just a little tidbit for everybody. Okay, now time to mow. So the other day, I'm spraying my clover plots, which, let's be honest, they look like shit. They're just over my shoulder. And I noticed around the pond right here, there's all this clover growing around it. And so I was like, well, shit, it's just mixed with grass. We might as well spray the grass off with clethodim, come in here and mow it, get this thing cleaned up and turn it into a food plot, right? So that's what we're gonna do today. We're already out here with clethodim. We're going to be out here with the mower. So we're going to clean this up. We're going to spray it. It's just natural wild clover. And we're going to see what it turns into. thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, or even comment and let me know what kind of content you want to see in the future. Thanks, and we'll see y'all later.